and everyone, welcome for this new episode of the ESO News. Today I'm going to share with you plenty of information. There's so much to speak about that I will do my best to summarize and just underline the most important information you need to know. I will make a summarize of the Update 7, the ImperialCity, and the future of the Elder Scrolls Online. We have received various information at the QuakeCon, the Gamescom, and several ESO Live, and I will try to gather everything that is important in this episode. I hope you will enjoy. Update 7 and ImperialCity has both been released 31 August on PC and will be released soon on Xbox and PlayStation 4. What you need to know is that Update 7 is available to everyone, no matter that you're currently subscribed to ESO Plus, no matter you have buy or not the DLC ImperialCity. This is changes and improvement and fixes that are done to the core game. So that's what we are going to speak about just right now. The most important change is the rise up of the veteran rank to veteran 16. Some people are a little bit pissed off, but do not worry, Zenimax have also decreased the experience needed to gain a veteran rank by 15%. They also have increased the experience that you gain. 100% more experience for public dungeon, 50 more experience for all veteran rank quests, and 20% more experience gain in Craglorn. So you will grind faster or gain faster veteran rank. No worries. With the veteran rank, of course, every dungeon now scale up to veteran 16, and the reward that you will find in them are also veteran 16. When you disconstruct some of those items, you will have the new crafting materials. I will speak a little bit more about that in a moment. You also have 3 new Undaunted dailies, 1 for City of Ash and 2 for the new dungeon with a gold key mode, obviously. So that means that now when you're doing your gold pledge, you have a chance to have the monster mask at veteran 16. It's gonna be very interesting and every set items of the game. Likewise, you can level your crafting to rank 10 now. So you will find new recipe for provisioning and alchemy. There's 2 new solvents for alchemy that you can find in Craglorn, veteran 10, or in ImperialCity, veteran 15, to make more potent potion. You will find new recipe for provisioning in container like usual or in your crafting wreaths, and you can make now veteran 10 and veteran 15 food and drinks. While you're doing your wreaths for crafting, woodworking, blacksmithing and clothing, you have a small chance to find a glass fragment. Glass motif is the new motif that is very rare and very precious. If you find 10 glass fragments, you can use some meretic resin that are sold by mystic seller in the world, and you're lucky you can make a book or a chapter of the glass motif. You can learn this glass motif once you reach the rank 10 of your crafting. To create an item with a glass motif, you need to use a malachite, and those malachites can be found in treasure chests. Another change you will appreciate is the backup crate. You can now buy 3 new backup crates to increase your inventory slot up to 200 slots. Those backup crates are quite expensive, however, the first one cost 30,000 gold. You can also purchase those backup crates in the Crown store. Lot of change has been brought to Cyrodiil. Some of those changes I have explained in a past ESO Live, but I will make a summary here as a reminder. First of all, now every person that comes into Cyrodiil is battle level to veteran 14, unless you tick off the option in your setting. Previously, only non-veteran player could be battle level, but now the battle level is for everyone, including veteran 13 player. This is really great from a social point of view because you can group in Cyrodiil with any of your friends regardless of their level. former Emperor do not have access to the Emperor skill line anymore, but they keep the title and the regalia costume. The current Emperor do not need to invest a skill point into the passive of the Emperor skill line. The Emperor skill line is automatically unlocked for them until they lose the title of Emperor. This change has been made to avoid Emperor trading, as it happened before, and to make the whole game around the Emperor things more relevant and more fair. There is no more buff outside Cyrodiil, so you do not need to have a buff campaign anymore, because the buff only matter within Cyrodiil and ImperialCity. The Underdog Alliance bonus had been buffed. A very important change that caused some controversy within the community is the Battle Spirit buff. It has been adjusted and is now 50% more damage reduction, 50% less healing received, and 50% less damage chill strength. So that means that the fight in PvP lasts a lot longer. Your heal will be less powerful, your damage will be less powerful, your shield will be less powerful. A lot of players do not like that because they think it favorises elitist players, while a lot of players appreciate it. I am a noob PvPer, and I think that it's more interesting for newbie PvPer to have a longer fight where you learn how to fight, you have a chance to see what's going on, what's happening. But it's true that some players seems to be unkillable. This is also due to the imbalance of the champion points, but that's something we will discuss another time. The campaign reset had been changed, and for that every campaign has been resetted and every assignment as home or guest had been reset as well, so you have a free transfer, but be careful to what campaign you want to choose. 3 campaigns last 30 days and have all reset, so every objective will gain alliance points, scroll, keep and resource. Those campaigns are Asura and the 2 new ones that has been added recently, Spellbreaker and True Flame. Blackwater is still a non-veteran campaign that lasts 30 days with all rules that so all resource bring alliance points, scroll, keep and resource. Children, Adderus and Thornblade has been changed as a 7 days campaign. Children is a scroll campaign, Adderus is a resource campaign, and Thornblade is a keep campaign. All rewards have been increased. The reward at the end of a campaign or the reward of the worthy, you even have some chance to find some blue and epic item in your little chest. A lot of gameplay change has been added to the game in this Update 7, and I will summarize the most important one. First of all, you do not regenerate stamina anymore while blocking. This is a huge change for tanks especially. A lot of people are enjoying this change because they say that tanking is more fun, more interesting and more skillful. You really have to time out when you block, and you cannot just stay like a wall of protection between the boss and your teammates. But some players do not enjoy it, and the community is very divided. Some players say that tanking is now impossible and not fun at all, and that their task is a lot harder. Some players say that this only favorizes elite player. But I can tell you this last point is false, because I know non-elite player and they enjoy very much the new way of tanking. Some change has been added as well to the stamina class abilities. They reduce the cost by 20%, so they are equivalent to weapon abilities, and it makes the whole stamina build more interesting. The cost of dodge roll has also been increased to 33% after the first dodge roll, and it stacks up, so you cannot indefinitely dodge roll. This is made to make the dodge to become a choice and a strategic choice, and not something that you do just to avoid constantly damage done by other players or by bosses. So you will have to be more skillful with that as well. A lot of fixes have been brought to class. I will let you read the patch notes if you want to know more about it, because I will not summarize everything here. The race has been changed as well. We see finally Orsimer, Kashid, Nord and Argonian being buffed. I suggest you as well to read the patch note regarding this. While everyone seems to be satisfied about those change, the Argonian community still thinks that the Argonian passive are the less good and the less interesting, making the choice of being Argonians very painful. They have written several posts with suggestions, and I recommend you to read them if you're interested with the fate of the Argonian race. The DLC ImperialCity is finally available for PC and Mac and will be released very soon for Xbox One and PlayStation 4. You can access to this DLC if you're a current member of the ESO Plus, and this as long as you keep your subscription up, or you can purchase the DLC in the Crown store for 2,500 Crown. Once you purchase it, you will have it forever. If you're a subscriber and you stop your subscription, you will no more have access to the DLC, but you will keep everything you have earned in the DLC, may it be equipment, title, achievement, and so on. The Imperial City is a new zone, divided in the Imperial City itself, the city that you have seen in the game Oblivion, with its 6 districts. You have a giant open and public dungeon in the sewers, and you have 2 new dungeons, the Wild Gold Tower and the Imperial Prison. The 2 new dungeons work exactly like any other dungeon in the game. They propose you a normal version and a veteran version that is slightly more challenging than the normal version. You have an important quest associated to it, including a silver and a gold key challenge. The level of the dungeon will scale to the group leader, and the reward you will find scale to your personal level. You can access to those dungeons at level 10, but it's not recommended. Zenimax will recommend you to be at least 25 to enter in the Wild Gold Tower and 35 in the Imperial Prison to be able to face the challenge proposed by those dungeons. You can jump to the dungeon directly from any raid shrine in the world, like for any other dungeon. You do not need to be in Cyrodiil in your campaign to be able to go into this dungeon, so you can completely avoid the Cyrodiil queue, no problem. You can also use the group finder, or you can of course enter in the dungeon by the entrance. The entrance of the Wild Gold Tower is situated in the sewer. You have 1 entrance by faction close to their special base, and the entrance of the Imperial Prison is in the Memorial District. What you cannot do is to travel directly to player. It will not work for some reason. The rewards of the dungeon are very interesting. You can find new monster masks and new set item, and in the veteran version, monster and bosses also drop some trophy. If you have 150 of them, you can open a special treasure vault. Those dungeons also propose a story mode, like usual with a quest, and they are absolutely stunningly gorgeous. You really have to do them. But the most important feature of Imperial City is obviously not its 2 dungeons, but the fact that Imperial City is a war zone where the 3 factions will collide together and with Daedric force, and will try to collect as much TelVar stone as possible, may it be in the Imperial district or in the Imperial sewer. The TelVar stone is the new currency that you can earn by fighting in Imperial City, either by killing mobs or by killing other players. You will stack this currency in your inventory as gold, so it doesn't take a slot in your bag, and you can store up in your bank to save it. Because indeed, you can lose your TelVar stone. 10% if you're killed by a monster and 80% if you're killed by another player. So if you want those stones, you will need to be careful and smart. Those stones are used to buy some armor in an armor merchant or some crafting material. All of this you can sell back in guild merchant or trade it with other player or with your other character. Your TelVar stone are also account bound, so if you earn them with one character, you can use them with another character. With the TelVar stone you can also buy some special chests in a shop, and those chests have a very small chance to give you Exvitin polymorph. There's 3 of them and they are extremely rare, and they can also be tradable or be sold for quite some money in the guild trade shop. The sewers is a giant public dungeon open to all factions. You will start in your faction hub, which is a safe area where you will find your starting quest, your merchant, your bank and your crafting station. Once you leave the zone, you will enter in your own faction section of the sewer, but it's a consensus zone and you can meet players from the other alliance at any time. More you go deeper, more the danger is, more strong are the bosses and more important are the rewards as well. Once you have finished to cross the 3 area of your faction section, you will find the middle. In the center of the sewer, some event can be triggered and you can also access the section of the other alliance. In the sewer you will find a lot of Daedra, a lot of bosses, some treasure scamp which are a bit similar to treasure goblin of Diablo, and of course a lot of chests and a lot of unexpected events. You can gain a lot of stones, a lot of loot and lose everything if you meet other players. And other players can come to you in any sorts. It can be a trap, they can sneak around, they can come in a big circle. You never know what's going to happen. The sewers, the district above are 6 different areas, and you can imagine 6 different battlegrounds. Each of them have its own layout. Each district have its own respawn point, its own bosses, its own treasure vault that you can open with the trophies that you find on Daedric Monster, and also its own story quest. Once you finish your story quest, you unlock a series of daily that will give you a chest as reward, and this chest contains some TelVar stone. You cannot lose the TelVar stone that's inside some chest, so open your chest only when you are in a safe place. The district, the PvP will be a lot more face to face, so it will be more a feel of battlegrounds, and it's quite tough to fight in the same time a big boss that is quite tough, and some other players in the same time. But it's some fun. If you want more explanation regarding the Imperial City, I suggest you to see my video Imperial City First Impression and Imperial City Explained to Care-Bear Player. You can also watch a very good guide made by Deltia on deltiasgaming.com and if you want to know some tips to be a very good player in the sewer, I recommend you to read a forum post written by Ole Manwinter, which explain you every little trick to be able to be successful. And now that we are done with Update 7 and Imperial City DLC recap, it's time to focus on the future of the Elder Scrolls Online. I have plenty of good news to share with you. First of all, Zenimax is currently working on the future DLC, and they have 3 dedicated teams for that. Each team works on a different DLC, and so we are sure that there is different stage of progression and there will always have one DLC ready in time. The goal of Zenimax is to publish the DLC 4 times a year, so every trimester you can expect to have one. The next one is already known, it will be Orsinium. It will include a lot of quests, a lot of lore and a PvE arena. We also know that the next one for next year will be the Darknrotherhood. It has been announced and we do not know much about it, beside that there will be a quest regarding the Darknrotherhood, and it will be scattered in different small little zones. We may expect as well a new skill line for abilities, but that's not a promise, it's just a rumor. They are also working on Murkmire, on ClockworkCity, which will be a Dunmer place in Morrowind. They're also working on a trial for 12 players, on housing, and on spellcrafting. We do not know when it will be released, however, but they are currently working on it. There is also some quality of life change that will be added to the Elder Scrolls Online. One of the first is the cross-faction dungeon, so you will be able to do any dungeon with players from the other alliance. They are starting by this, and depending on the reaction of the players in the community, they may add more cross-faction activities or not in the future. The interface will also be changed. They will start with nameplates and subtitles that will come soon, but they are also working on a flying combat log, some buff and debuff icon, and some other change that players have asked for since a long time. Those changes will work for both PC and will be implemented on console as well. The controller support will also be worked on, and it should be ready soon. It's actually on beta, so players that want to play with a controller on their PC will be able to enjoy the Elder Scrolls Online with the interface of the console, and they can switch on and off quite easily according to the developer. We also can expect improvement for the inventory space, and the ESO Plus member will already beneficiate from something that should allow them to stack a lot of crafting material as a perk of their subscription. The seasonal champion point cap, the removal of the veteran rank, and the justice system Phase 2 are also some things that the developers are currently working on, but it takes a lot of time to implement, so we do not need to expect them for this year or for the start of the next year. They are currently working on it. The justice system in particular, they are not sure yet how to implement it, because some players do not like and will not want to PvP in the normal zone. So apparently, if I understood correctly, the hint, the justice system will be implemented in different separated area in future. And voila, that's all for today. I hope you appreciate this episode. It was quite difficult to make because there was so much information, so much important information to gather, to summarize, and to present here. I hope I forgot nothing. If you have any question, if you want to know more, do not hesitate to ask me. I will be very happy to answer you in the comment below, or you can contact me via Twitter if you follow me on Twitter. I'm also doing some live stream 3 times a week on YouTube for the month of September, so feel free to follow me and to catch me live if you want to see ImperialCity in action. Those live streams are also uploaded automatically on my channel, so you can watch them. It's not edited video, so it can be boring at some point, just jump from one section to another. Besides that, enjoy yourself. I will see you next time. Take care.